You know, it's funny how much we hear about how good nuts are for us, isn't it? We're told they're packed with healthy fats, protein, vitamins, minerals, little powerhouses of nutrition. And for the most part, that's absolutely true. A handful of nuts can be a fantastic snack, a great way to get those good nutrients into your day. But what if I told you that, as we get a little older, say past 60, some of the ways we eat nuts, or even certain types of nuts themselves, might not be doing us as much good as we think, in fact. Some might even be causing little, hidden problems. Think about it. Maybe you've started noticing things feel a bit different. Perhaps your digestion isn't quite what it used to be, or you're more mindful of your blood pressure or your waistline. We try to eat healthy. We reach for those nuts, feeling like we're making a good choice. But are we really getting the best out of them? Are we accidentally adding things to our diet that our bodies just don't handle as gracefully as they used to? It's a quiet worry. Isn't it trying to do the right thing for our health? But maybe missing a crucial piece of information that could make a big difference. The secret isn't that nuts are suddenly bad, but that how we choose and eat them becomes more important. Our bodies just have different needs and sensitivities than they did in our younger years. In this video, we're going to uncover a few surprising truths about those seemingly innocent nuts. We'll look at 4 specific ways of eating nuts, or even certain types, that you might want to be a bit cautious about after the age of 60. And don't worry, it's not all caution. We'll also dive into 4 incredible nuts that are nutritional champions for our age group, the ones that really can help keep you feeling vibrant and healthy. We'll talk about the simple reasons why some might be less ideal and why others are nutritional goldmines. Stick with me until the very end, because there's something about how to best enjoy even the healthy nuts that might truly surprise you and make all the difference. So, let's start by looking at those nuts that might not be serving us as well as we think once we're past that 60-year mark. The first one isn't necessarily about a specific nut itself, but rather how it's often prepared and the impact that preparation can have on our bodies as we age, particularly when it comes to something many of us need to keep an eye on: our blood pressure and fluid balance. I'm talking about heavily salted nuts. Now, I know, a handful of salted nuts can be incredibly moreish, satisfying that little craving for something crunchy and savory. We see them everywhere, in bowls at parties, in little packets at the shop. They seem harmless enough. A quick, easy snack. But for someone over 60 regularly reaching for that bag of heavily salted almonds, cashews, peanuts, or mixed nuts can be putting unnecessary strain on a system that might already be working harder. Why is excess salt more of a concern as we age? Well, our kidneys might not be quite as efficient at filtering out sodium as they once were. This means that extra salt tends to linger in our system, causing our bodies to hold on to more water. This increased fluid volume in our blood vessels pushes against the walls of our arteries, leading to higher blood pressure. High blood pressure, as we know, is a major risk factor for serious health issues like heart disease and stroke, conditions that become more prevalent in later life, even if you're on medication for blood pressure. Adding a lot of extra salt through snacks like nuts can make that medication less effective and make it harder to keep your numbers in a healthy range. Beyond blood pressure, too much salt can contribute to swelling, especially in the ankles and feet, and can just make you feel generally more bloated and uncomfortable. It can also be dehydrating in a way, making you crave more fluids, which might not always be plain water, potentially leading to sugary drink consumption, which brings its own set of problems. Think about the serving size on a packet of nuts. It's often just a small handful, maybe an ounce. But who stops at just one handful when they're salty and delicious? It's easy to polish off half a bag or more while watching TV or chatting. And with each extra handful, you're stacking up the milligrams of sodium quickly. Some commercially salted nuts can contain hundreds of milligrams of sodium per serving. If you're aiming for a daily sodium limit of, say, 2,300 milligrams or even less, like 1 500 milligrams, which is often recommended for people with high blood pressure, A large serving of salted nuts can eat up a significant chunk of that allowance in one go, leaving very little room for the sodium that's naturally present in other foods or added during cooking. It's these hidden sources of salt, the ones we don't always think of, that can really sabotage our efforts to eat healthily. So, while the nut itself might be full of good fats and protein, the heavy salting transforms it from a healthy snack into something that could potentially harm your cardiovascular health over time. It's a sneaky way that something good can become less good, or even problematic, simply through processing. This isn't about instilling fear, but about cultivating awareness. Choosing unsalted versions of your favorite nuts is such a simple switch, but it can have a profound positive impact on your blood pressure and overall well-being. It allows you to enjoy all the natural goodness of the nut without the added burden of excessive sodium. Look for unsalted or no salt added on the packaging. Taste the nut itself. Appreciate its natural flavor. You might be surprised at how delicious they are without the heavy salt coating. Making this small change is a really practical way to support your heart health every single day. Moving on to the second type of nut preparation that might be less ideal as we age. And this one is about something sweet candied, honey roasted, or heavily flavored nuts that are coated in sugar or syrups. These are often presented as tempting treats, perhaps around holidays or in specialty shops. They look appealing and certainly taste like a dessert. We might justify them by saying, well, they're still nuts, so they must be healthy. Right. Unfortunately, when nuts are coated in sugar, honey, or sugary glazes, their health profile changes dramatically. The benefits of the nut are still there, of course, but they are overshadowed by the addition of large amounts of rapidly absorbed sugars and often less healthy fats used in the roasting process. For people over 60, managing blood sugar levels often becomes more important. Our bodies might not process sugar as efficiently, and we're at a higher risk for developing type 2 diabetes or experiencing blood sugar spikes and crashes that can leave us feeling tired, irritable, and unfocused. A handful of candied nuts can send your blood sugar soaring, followed by a dip that leaves you reaching for another sugary pick-me-up. This cycle isn't just about energy levels. Consistently high blood sugar levels can contribute to inflammation in the body, damage blood vessels, nerves, and organs over time, and make it harder to manage weight. Think about the calories and sugar in a serving of these sweet nuts compared to a plain, unsalted version. The difference can be quite significant. A small handful might contain as much sugar as a cookie or a small slice of cake. But because it's mixed with the fats from the nuts, we might not feel the immediate sugar rush in the same way, making it easier to overconsume. The fat content, combined with the sugar, also makes them incredibly calorie-dense. While healthy fats are good, combined with lots of sugar and eaten in large quantities, these nuts can easily contribute to unwanted weight gain, which in turn can exacerbate other health conditions like joint pain, high blood pressure, and diabetes. Beyond the sugar and calories, the roasting process for candied nuts often involves heating oils to high temperatures, which can sometimes create less healthy compounds. And the types of oils used might not always be the healthiest choices to begin with. So, you're not only getting a dose of sugar, but potentially some less than ideal fats along with it. It's a classic example of taking a naturally healthy food and turning it into something closer to junk food through processing. While an occasional small taste might be okay for some, making candied or honey-roasted nuts a regular snack or even a frequent indulgence is something to seriously reconsider after 60. Choosing raw or dry roasted, unsalted nuts gives you all the nutritional benefits without the detrimental effects of added sugar and potentially unhealthy fats. It's about being mindful of those added ingredients that detract from the natural goodness of the food. Now, let's think about the third point of caution. And this one again relates to how nuts are processed. Nuts that are heavily roasted, especially those roasted in oils that are high in omega-6 fatty acids. Now, Omega-6 fats aren't inherently bad. They are essential fatty acids that our bodies need. The problem arises when we consume too many omega-6 fats relative to omega-3 fats. The standard Western diet tends to be very high in omega-6s from vegetable oils like soybean, corn, and sunflower oil, which are often used in commercial roasting, as well as processed foods, and relatively low in omega-3s found in fatty fish, flax seeds, chia seeds, and walnuts. This imbalance can promote inflammation in the body. Chronic, low-grade inflammation is increasingly recognized as a root cause or contributing factor to many age-related diseases, including heart disease, type 2 diabetes, arthritis, and even cognitive decline. While nuts themselves contain a mix of fats, including monounsaturated and polyunsaturated fats, the oils used in commercial roasting can skew the omega-6 to omega-3 ratio in the final product. Dry roasting, or roasting without added oil, is generally a better option if you prefer roasted nuts, as it avoids adding potentially inflammatory oils and extra calories. However, high-temperature roasting can sometimes affect the delicate healthy fats in the nuts themselves, potentially making them less beneficial. Raw nuts, when possible, are often the best choice for preserving the integrity of their healthy fats and nutrients. Consider your overall diet. If you already consume a lot of processed foods, fried foods, and use vegetable oils high in omega-6s for cooking, adding nuts roasted in these same oils just contributes further to that imbalance. While a small amount might not be a deal breaker, making them your primary source of nuts could be subtly contributing to systemic inflammation over time without you even realizing it. It's another example of how the preparation method can diminish the health benefits of a naturally good food. Choosing raw or dry roasted nuts and balancing your overall fat intake by incorporating sources of omega-3s is a more strategic approach to getting the most benefit from nuts while minimizing potential downsides as you age. This isn't about avoiding all roasted nuts, but being aware of how they are roasted and choosing options that minimize added, less healthy fats. Finally, the fourth point to be mindful of after 60 is peanuts, particularly when they are heavily processed, salted, or roasted. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Peanuts are everyone's go-to nut. Right, peanut butter? Bags of roasted peanuts? They're ubiquitous. And yes, peanuts do offer some nutritional benefits: protein, fiber, vitamins, and minerals. However, there are a couple of reasons why they might be worth a second thought, especially how they are typically consumed. Firstly, botanically speaking, peanuts aren't actually nuts. They are legumes, like beans and lentils. While they share a similar nutritional profile in terms of fats and protein with tree nuts, their composition isn't identical. More importantly, many of the issues we've already discussed apply particularly strongly to peanuts because of how they are commonly prepared and sold. Most peanuts are roasted, often in oil, and heavily salted. So, all the concerns about excess sodium and less healthy roasting oils apply directly to the most common forms of peanuts we find. It's difficult to find truly raw, unsalted peanuts outside of specialty stores, and even then, concerns about contaminants like aflatoxins, a type of mold that can grow on peanuts if not stored correctly, mean many people prefer to eat them roasted. While reputable producers test for aflatoxins, it's something to be aware of. Beyond the processing issues, some people find peanuts a bit harder to digest than tree nuts, potentially contributing to gas or bloating, which can become more common digestive complaints as we age. Also, while peanut protein is valuable, some studies suggest tree nuts might offer a broader spectrum of certain antioxidants and healthy fat profiles compared to peanuts. This isn't to say you can never enjoy peanuts or a spoonful of natural peanut butter, the kind with just peanuts and maybe salt. The point is that the most common ways peanuts are consumed, heavily salted, oil roasted, are less than ideal for health after 60 for the reasons we've already covered regarding salt and unhealthy fats. If you love peanuts, look for natural, unsalted peanut butter with no added sugar or oils, and opt for dry roasted unsalted peanuts in moderation. It's about being discerning and choosing the least processed forms. So, to recap this first part of our discussion, the nuts we might want to be more cautious about aren't necessarily inherently bad, but their common preparations, heavily salted, candied, roasted in unhealthy oils, and the typical forms of peanuts can introduce excess sodium, sugar, and inflammatory fats into our diet, which are things we generally want to minimize as we focus on healthy aging. Making conscious choices about how your nuts are prepared is just as important as choosing the nut itself. Now that we've explored some of the ways nuts can be prepared that might be less beneficial for us as we age, let's pivot to the incredibly positive side. There are some true nutritional powerhouses in the nut world, varieties that offer specific benefits that are particularly valuable for supporting health and vitality after 60. Incorporating these nuts into your diet can be a delicious and effective way to boost your intake of crucial nutrients that support everything from brain health to heart health, bone strength, and fighting inflammation. Let's dive into 4 of these fantastic options. First up, a true champion, especially when it comes to brain health and reducing inflammation: walnuts. Just look at a walnut. It even looks a bit like a tiny brain, doesn't it? And that visual resemblance is actually quite fitting, because walnuts are incredibly rich in omega-3 fatty acids, specifically alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA. Omega-3s are famously good for our cardiovascular system. They help keep blood vessels flexible and support healthy cholesterol levels. But their benefits extend significantly to brain health. As we age, maintaining cognitive function and protecting against conditions like dementia becomes a greater focus for many of us. The omega-3s in walnuts are thought to help reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the brain, support the formation of new neurons, and improve communication between brain cells. Beyond omega-3s, walnuts are also packed with antioxidants, including polyphenols, which help fight damage from unstable molecules called free radicals in our bodies. This antioxidant power, combined with the anti-inflammatory effects of omega-3s, makes walnuts a fantastic food for overall health and disease prevention. They also provide fiber, protein, and a range of vitamins and minerals like magnesium and potassium. A small handful of walnuts, about a quarter cup, is a perfectly satisfying serving size that delivers a significant nutritional punch without being overly calorie-dense if you stick to that portion. How can you easily incorporate walnuts into your diet raw? Unsalted walnuts are ideal. You can snack on them plain. Add them to your morning yogurt or oatmeal. Sprinkle them on salads for extra crunch and nutrition. Or toss them into baked goods, though be mindful of sugar content in those. Grinding them up and adding them to smoothies is another easy way to get their benefits. The key is consistency, making them a regular part of your eating pattern rather than a rare indulgence. Many people find the slightly bitter, earthy flavor of walnuts really satisfying if you're not a fan of them plain. Try combining them with fruits like apples or pears, or adding them to savory dishes where their flavor can complement other ingredients. Now, let's talk about our second incredibly healthy nut: almonds. Almonds are nutritional powerhouses, offering a slightly different but equally valuable set of benefits. They are an excellent source of vitamin E, a powerful antioxidant that's important for protecting our cells from damage. Vitamin E also plays a role in immune function and keeping our skin healthy. Almonds are also rich in magnesium, a mineral that many people don't get enough of, which is crucial for muscle and nerve function, blood sugar control, and blood pressure regulation. For those concerned about bone health, almonds provide calcium and magnesium, 2 minerals important for maintaining strong bones. Almonds are also a good source of fiber and protein, which makes them particularly good for managing blood sugar levels and keeping you feeling full and satisfied. Helping with weight management. The healthy monounsaturated fats in almonds are good for heart health, helping to lower LDL bad cholesterol, A standard serving size for almonds is about an ounce, which is roughly 23 almonds. This provides a good amount of protein, fiber, vitamin E, and magnesium without being excessively high in calories. Like walnuts, raw or dry roasted unsalted almonds are the best choice. Avoid the flavored or heavily salted varieties. You can snack on plain almonds. Add slivered almonds to cereals or stir-fries. Use almond butter check for no added sugar or oils on toast or with fruit. Or incorporate almond flour into baking for a nutrient boost. Almonds have a milder, slightly sweet flavor that makes them very versatile. They're a great option to keep on hand for a quick, healthy snack that helps bridge the gap between meals and provides lasting energy. Their combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fats helps prevent that energy crash you might get from sugary snacks. Our third healthy nut is one that you need to be a little more mindful of the portion size, but the benefits it offers are truly unique and incredibly important, especially for thyroid function and immune health. Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts are perhaps best known for being an absolutely phenomenal source of selenium. Selenium is an essential trace mineral that plays a critical role in many bodily processes. It's vital for proper thyroid function. The thyroid gland produces hormones that regulate metabolism, energy levels, and mood. And selenium is needed to activate these hormones. Selenium is also a powerful antioxidant, working with vitamin E to protect our cells. It's crucial for a healthy immune system, helping our bodies fight off infections and illnesses. Some research also suggests selenium may play a role in cancer prevention. Now, here's where the portion control comes in. Brazil nuts are so incredibly rich in selenium that you only need a very small amount to meet your daily needs. In fact, eating too many can lead to selenium toxicity, which can cause symptoms like hair loss, brittle nails, fatigue, and digestive upset. For most adults, eating just 1 or 2 Brazil nuts per day is sufficient to get the benefits without risking toxicity. Just 1 or 2 nuts. That's it. It's an amazing example of how a tiny amount of a nutrient-dense food can make a big difference. Because you only need 1 or 2. Brazil nuts are an easy addition to your routine. You can just eat 1 or 2 plain as a snack. It's not really a nut you'd typically add to dishes in large quantities like almonds or walnuts because of the high selenium content. Think of them more like a daily supplement in food form. Keep a small bag on hand and just have 1 or 2 each morning. This ensures you're getting this vital mineral without overdoing it. It's a simple, effective health hack that requires very little effort. Finally, let's look at our fourth exceptionally healthy nut, one that's not only nutritious but also fun to eat: pistachios. Pistachios offer a fantastic mix of benefits, including being a good source of protein and fiber, which are important for satiety and digestive health, something many people over 60 pay close attention to. They contain healthy fats and a range of vitamins and minerals like vitamin B6, potassium, and manganese. One of the standout benefits of pistachios, particularly relevant as we age, is their high content of certain antioxidants, specifically lutein and zeaxanthin. These are carotenoids that are incredibly important for eye health. Lutein and zeaxanthin accumulate in the macula of the eye and help protect against age-related macular degeneration, AMD, and cataracts, 2 leading causes of vision loss in older adults. Including foods rich in these compounds, like pistachios, can play a role in preserving your eyesight as you get older. Pistachios also offer unique advantages when it comes to weight management. Eating pistachios in the shell can naturally slow you down, as the act of shelling them gives your body time to register fullness. The empty shells also provide a visual cue of how much you've eaten, which can help prevent mindless overconsumption. This built-in portion control mechanism is a fantastic bonus. Like other healthy nuts, opt for unsalted, dry roasted, or raw pistachios. They make a great snack on their own, can be added to salads, used in pesto, or sprinkled over cooked vegetables. So, to recap: the superstars: walnuts for omega-3s and brain health, almonds for vitamin E, magnesium, and blood sugar support. Brazil nuts for that essential selenium boost, just one or two, and pistachios for eye health, fiber, and built-in portion control. These 4 nuts offer a diverse range of powerful nutrients that are particularly beneficial for supporting health and vitality in your 60s and beyond. Making a conscious effort to include a variety of these nuts, prepared simply and eaten in appropriate portions, is a delicious step towards feeling your best. Now, we've covered a lot of ground today, talking about some types of nuts and preparations you might want to approach with a little more caution as you get older. Things like those heavily salted nuts that can impact blood pressure, the sugary candied ones that spike blood sugar, nuts roasted in less healthy oils that can contribute to inflammation, and how the common preparations of peanuts might not be the most beneficial. And on the flip side, we've celebrated some truly remarkable nuts that are nutritional champions for our age group: the brain-boosting omega-3s in walnuts, the vitamin E and magnesium power of almonds, the selenium superstar Brazil nut, remember, just one or two, and the eye health benefits and fiber of pistachios. The key takeaway here: the surprise I mentioned at the beginning isn't really about completely avoiding certain nuts forever, but about paying attention to the details, specifically how they are prepared and the importance of moderation, even with the healthy ones like Brazil nuts. It's these subtle differences that can have a significant impact on how nuts affect your health, especially as our bodies become a little less forgiving with age. Choosing raw or dry roasted, unsalted versions of your favorite nuts and incorporating those specific powerhouses like walnuts, almonds, Brazil nuts, and pistachios regularly can make a real difference in getting the most nutritional bang for your buck without the hidden downsides. Remember, healthy eating isn't about being perfect all the time, but about making informed choices that support your well-being consistently. Small changes really do add up. Swapping out a handful of heavily salted peanuts for some unsalted almonds or walnuts, or adding just one Brazil nut to your morning routine, are simple, actionable steps that can contribute positively to your blood pressure, blood sugar, brain health, and overall vitality. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge so you can enjoy delicious food that also nourishes your body effectively. I truly hope this conversation has given you some valuable insights and perhaps a new perspective on enjoying nuts as part of a healthy lifestyle after 60. It's a wonderful age, full of potential, and feeling your best physically allows you to fully embrace it. Taking care of yourself in these years is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself and your loved ones. What are your favorite ways to incorporate healthy nuts into your diet? Did any of the nuts or preparations we discussed surprise you? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. I love hearing from you, and your ideas might inspire others in our community. If you found this video helpful and encouraging, please give it a thumbs up. It lets me know I'm creating content that resonates with you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos packed with practical tips and positive encouragement for living your best life at every age. Thank you so much for watching and spending this time with me. Here's to your health and happiness.